Act 4, Scene 1. I'm going to try to do the whole of Act 4 this week and then Act 5 next week, but I might be able to squeeze it in this week. We'll just have a look-see. Okay. A house and forest in Scotland, in the middle of a boiling cauldron. Thunder as the weird sisters rise, one after the other, from the flames. The first witch. Thrice the brinded cat hath meowed. Second witch. Thrice and once they hedge pick weaned. Third witch. Harpier cries, 'tis time, 'tis time. First witch. Round about the cauldron go, in the poison entails throw. They move left towards about it. Toad, that under cold stone, days and nights, has 31. Sweltered venom sleeping got, boil though first eye the charmed pot. All, double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. They stir the cauldron. Second witch. Fillet of a fenny snake in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog. Okay, so sure, you realize they're just busy doing a bit of a cauldron mixture. So that's their like witch pot, and they're just busy making a spell. Adder's fork and windworm's sting, lizard's leg and howlet's wing, for a charm of powerful trouble, like a hull broth boil and bubble. All, double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. They stir. Third witch. Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, moor and gulf, of the raven, salt sea shark, root of hemlock diggeth the dark, liver of blaspheming Jew, gall of goat and slips of yew, silvered in the moon's eclipse, nose of Turk and Tartar's lips, finger of birth strangled babe, ditch delivered by a drab, make the gruel thick and slab, and thereto a tiger's cauldron, for the ingredients of our cauldron. All, double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble, which cool it in a baboon's blood, then charm is firm and good. Enter Hecate and the other three witches. So Hecate is like death, but even Satan kind of thing. Oh, well done. I commend your pains, and everyone shall share its gains. And now about the cauldron sing, like elves and fairies in a ring, enchanting all that you put in, music and a song, black spirits, etc. Hecate and the other three witches off. And the other witches off. Second witch. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open lock, servant knocks. A door flies open, showing Macbeth outside. Okay, so Macbeth, remember you said he was going to go visit them? Now he's here. Now they're saying something wicked is coming to Macbeth. So Macbeth says, how now, you secret black and midnight hags? What is it you do? So he's asking them, what are you guys doing? Maybe not like that, but he is wondering what they're up to. All, a deed without a name. Okay. So they're making a charm, but they're not going to tell what kind of charm. Macbeth, I conjure you, by that which you profess, however you come to know it, answer me, though you untie the wines and let them fight against the churches. Wines or winds, I'm sorry guys. Through the yesty waves, confound and swallow navigation up. Through the baited corn be lodged and trees blown down. Through castles topple on their warders' heads. Through palaces and pyramids do slope their heads to their foundations. Though the treasure of nature's garments tumble altogether, even till destruction sicken, answer me to what I asked you. So he is saying he has a question, but he wants them to ask honestly. He wants his answers. Okay, so the first witch, speak. Second witch, demand. Third witch, will answer. First witch, say if thou'dst rather hear it from our mouths or from our masters. So would you rather hear it from us or from our masters? Macbeth says, call him, let me see him. Which pour in so's blood that hath eaten her 9 furrow, grease that sweats and from the murderer's giblet throw into flame. Come high or low, thyself and defty show. Thunder, first apparition. An armed head like Macbeth's rises from the cauldron. Macbeth, tell me, thou unknown power, which he knows thy thoughts, hear his speech, but say not. First apparition. Macbeth, beware Macduff, beware the Thane of Fife, dismiss me enough. So he sees an apparition come out of the cauldron. Basically, it's warning Macbeth to be careful of Macduff. So I don't know if you remember earlier on in the play, but he was asking where Macduff was, and they were saying he was with one of Duncan's sons. Macbeth, whatever thou art, for thy good caution thanks, thou hast harped my fear aright, but one word more. First which, he will not be commanded. Here's another, more potent than the first. Thunder, second apparition of a bloody child. Second apparition. Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth. Macbeth, had I 3 ears, I'd hear thee. Second apparition. Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth. Okay, so then that apparition disappears. So basically what this is saying is that a person who is born out of a woman cannot hurt Macbeth. So now Macbeth knows that no one can harm him because everyone is born from a lady. But we'll get more into that a bit later. Macbeth, then live, Macduff. What need I fear of thee? But yet I make assurance double sure, and take bond of fate. Thou shalt not live, that I may tell pale hearted fear it lies, and sleep in spite of thunder. Okay, thunder, third apparition. A child crowned, with a tree in his hand. What is this? And rises like the issue of a king, and wears upon his baby brow the round and top of sovereignty. Or listen, but speak not to it. So they're saying to him, listen to the apparition, but don't try to speak to it. Apparition. Be lion-mettled, proud, and take no care. Know who chafes, who frets, or where conspirators are. Macbeth shall never be vanquished until great Birnam Wood to hide Dunsane Hill shall come against him. Okay, so basically they're saying when the forest comes to the castle, then Macbeth needs to be scared. And now Macbeth's kind of like, how's a forest going to get to me? Okay, so here you see it because he says that will never be. Who can impress the forest, bid the tree, and fix his earthbound roots, sweet bodiments good. Rebellious dead, rise never till the wood of Birnam rise, and our high place Macbeth shall live the lease of nature. Pay his breath to time and mortal custom, yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Tell me if your art. Okay, so it says, if you can tell me so much, tell me, shall Banquo's issue ever reign this kingdom? So he's asking if Banquo's children will ever rule the kingdom. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so they say to him, seek to know no more. Macbeth, I will be satisfied. Deny me this, an eternal curse fall on you. Let me know. Why sinks that cauldron? So he wants to know. Hautboy play as the cauldron descends. And what noise is this? So the first which is show, show, show. All show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart. So the witches disappear. Okay. A show of 8 kings who pass one by one. Cross the stage as Macbeth speaks, the last with a mirror in his hand. Banquo's ghosts follows. So Macbeth says, thou art too like the spirit of Banquo down. The crown does sear mine eyeballs, and thy air, though other gold-bound brow, is like the first, and the third is like the former. Filthy hags, why do you show me this? A fourth starts eyes. What will the line stretch out to the crack of dawn? A doom, sorry. Another yet, a seventh, I see no more, and yet the 8th appears, who bears a glass which shows me many, many more, or many more. And some I see that twofold balls and treble scriptures carry, horrible sights. Now I see it is true, for the blood-bolted Banquo smiles upon me and points at them for this. Why? What is it? What is this so? Okay, so the future kings of Scotland, witches are showing him the future kings of Scotland, and Macbeth doesn't want to see the future anymore. Banquo comes as well at the end, and points to the others to basically say, those are my children. Okay, which so all this is so, but why stands Macbeth thus amazedly? Come, sisters, cheer we up his sprites, and show the best of our delights. I'll charm the air to give a sound, while you perform your art, your antic round, that this great king may kindly say, Our duties stood his welcome pay. Music, the witches danced and vanished. Okay, so then they didn't vanish here. They just disappeared while Macbeth was looking at the apparition. Macbeth, where are they? Gone. Let this portentous hour stand accursed in the calendar. Come without there. Enter Lennox. What your graces will. Macbeth, saw you the weird sisters? Lennox, no, my lord. Macbeth, came they not by you? Lennox, no, indeed, my lord. Macbeth, infected be the air wherein they ride, and damned all those that trust them. I did hear the galloping of a horse. Who was it that came by? Lennox, 'tis 2 or 3, my lord, that bring you word Macduff has fled to England. Okay. Macbeth fled to England? Aye, my good lord. So now Macbeth's thinking about the apparitions from the witches. Aside, time, the anticipants my dread exploits. The fighty purpose never is overtook unless the deed go with it. From this moment, the very firstlings of my heart shall be the firstlings of my hand, and even now, to crown my thoughts with acts, be it thought and done, the castle of Macduff I will surprise, seize upon Fife, give over to the edge of the sword, his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line, no boasting like a fool. This deed I'll do before this purpose cool. But no more sights allowed. Where are these gentlemen? Come, bring me to where they are. Okay, so he's going to kill Macduff and his family. Okay. Well, he's going to try at least. Macduff's castle at Fife in Scotland. Into Lady Macduff, her son, and Ross. Lady Macduff. What had he done to make him fly the land? They're asking why Macduff left them. Ross. You must have patience, madam. Lady Macduff. He had none. His flight was madness. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors. Ross. You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear. Okay, so Lady Macduff is complaining that Macduff has left them. And Ross is saying to her, I mean, you can't say that he's fleeing because he's scared. He might be doing something very intelligible that you just don't know about. Lady Macduff, wisdom, to leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansion and his title, in a place from whence himself does fly. He loves us not. He wants the natural touch for the poor wren. The most diminutive of birds will fight her young ones in her nest against the owl. All is the fear, and nothing is the love. As little is the wisdom, where the fly so runs against all reason. Ross. My dearest coz, I pray you, school yourself. But for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. I dare not speak much further, but cruel are the times when we are traitors and do not know ourselves, when we hold rumour from what we fear, and yet know not what we fear, but float upon a wild and violent sea, each way and move. I take my leave of you. Shall not be long, but I'll be here again. Things at the worst will cease, or else climb upward to what they were before. My pretty cousin, blessing upon you. Lady Macduff, fathered he is, and yet he is fatherless. Ross, I am so much a fool. Should I stay longer, it would be my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leave at once. Okay, so Lady Macduff and Ross are talking about Macduff obviously not being there. She's obviously upset about it, and Ross is basically telling her not to worry because he is a wise man. And Ross and her talk obviously, and then Ross says, if I stay longer, I'll break down and embarrass myself. Okay. Ross exits hurriedly. Lady Macduff, little Sarah, your father's dead, and what will you do now? How will you live? As birds do, mother. Lady Macduff, what, with worms and flies? Son, with what I get, and so do they. Lady Macduff, poor bird, though it's never fear the net nor lime, the pitfall nor the gin. Son, why should I, mother? Poor birds, they are not set for. My father is not dead, for all you're saying. Lady Macduff, yes, he is dead. How will it do for a father? Son, nay, how will you do for a husband? Lady Macduff, why, I can buy me 20 at any market. Son, then you'll buy 'em to sell again. Lady Macduff, thou speaks with all thy wit, and yet I' faith with wit enough for me. Son, was my father a traitor, mother? Lady Macduff, aye, that he was. Son, what is a traitor? Lady Macduff, sorry. One that swears and lies. Son, and be all traitors that do so. Lady Macduff, every one that does so is a traitor and must be hanged. Son, and must they all be hanged that swear and lie? Lady Macduff, every one. Son, so who must hang then? So she's busy telling her son, your dad's a traitor, and what are you going to do without him? What are we going to do without him? And her son's saying, like, how do you know he's a traitor? Lady Macduff, why the honest men? Son, then the liars and swearers are fools, for they are liars and swearers enow to beat the honest men and hang up them. Lady Macduff, now God help thee, poor monkey, but how wilt thou do for a father? Son, if he were dead, you'd weep for him. If you would not, it were a good sign that I should quickly have a new father. Lady Macduff, poor prattler, how thou talk'st. Enter a messenger. Messenger, bless you, fair dame. I am not to you known, though in your state of honour I am perfect. I doubt some danger does approach you nearly. If you will take a homely man's advice, be not found hence with your little ones. To fright you thus, methinks I am too savage to do worse to you. You were foul cruelty, which is too nigh your person. Heaven pursue you, I dare abide no longer. Okay, so he's saying, you don't know me, but I know who you are. There's danger coming. Take a simple man's advice and go away quickly. And he's basically saying, like, just get out of here. Lady Macduff, whither should I fly? I've done no harm, but I remember now I am in this earthly world where to do harm is often laudable. To do good sometime I count it dangerous folly. Why then, alas, do I put up that womanly defense to say I have done no harm? Why should I go? So she's asking why she should go. She's done nothing wrong. Enter murderers. What are these faces? Murderer, where's your husband? Lady Macduff, I have in no place so unsanctified where thou may find him. So she doesn't know where to find him. Murderer, he is a traitor. Son, thou liest, thou shag-haired villain. So the son doesn't believe that his father's a traitor. Murderer, what, you egg? Stabs him. Okay. Young fry of treachery. Son, he has killed me, mother. Run away, I pray you. He dies. Lady Macduff runs out crying. Murderer, pursued by the murderers. Okay, so I'm sure, as you would imagine, she doesn't make it either. Okay, I think I'm going to do scene 3 and 4 on another video. So I think that's it for now because it's quite a long video already. And thank you.